Although Elon Musk is only 1 week into his appointment in President Donald Trump's new cabinet, the U.S. federal government is already using the Twitter playbook to control staff and expenditure. Like Musk did when he seized control of the social media platform, Trump's administration is trying to substantially cut the number of federal employees and guarantee those who remain are faithful to the president's objectives. Federal workers received an email on Tuesday that reflects the "fork in the road" statement given to Twitter, now X, personnel immediately following Musk's 2022 acquisition of the firm. The email states that if government employees do not want to return to the workplace 5 days a week and pledge to a culture of excellence, they should quit by February 6. Those who decide to resign would continue receiving pay and benefits until September. The federal workforce should be comprised of employees who are reliable, loyal, trustworthy, and who strive for excellence in their daily work, according to the email, which was later published on the U.S. Office of Personnel Management website. It also emphasized that employees would be held to higher standards of appropriateness and behavior moving forward. This development comes as Musk's associates assume control of the U.S. Office of Personnel Management, a key human resources division of the federal government. When Wired reached out for comments, both Musk and the Office of Personnel Management did not immediately respond. At Twitter, Musk and his advisors, including Trump's newly appointed AI and crypto czar David Sacks, implemented a similar strategy. Musk laid off half the staff a week after finalizing the acquisition, with Sacks advising him on which teams and personnel would be cut. 2 weeks later, remaining employees received an email titled, "A Fork in the Road," where Musk declared that achieving his vision for Twitter 2.0 would require employees to work long hours at high intensity. He stressed that only exceptional performance would be acceptable and instructed employees to use a web form to opt into this vision. Those who failed to do so by the deadline would be entitled to 3 months severance. Later, thousands of Twitter employees sued, alleging that they had not received their full severance, though Musk eventually had the lawsuit dismissed. Former Twitter principal engineer Yao Yu commented that many were shaking their heads in disbelief at how familiar this new scenario felt, but pointed out that the federal government has stricter rules regarding hiring, firing, and expenditure. Under this directive, government employees are expected to send an email within 10 days with "resign" in the subject line. Everett Kelly, president of the American Federation of Government Employees, criticized the move, stating that purging the federal government of committed career civil servants would lead to widespread unintended consequences and chaos for Americans who rely on a functioning federal government. He added that the Trump administration's anti-worker executive orders and regulations aim to create a toxic workplace where employees feel they have no choice but to leave. After Musk's ultimatum at Twitter, many more employees than expected chose to resign, leading to chaos as his team tried to determine who had actually quit versus who had simply not completed the form. Some former Twitter employees were later contacted and asked to reconsider. One former engineering manager noted that the OPM letter appeared more legally refined than Twitter's previous communications, suggesting that it had been carefully vetted by attorneys. The latest email from the Office of Personnel Management underscores that federal employees must work in the office 5 days a week, with some possibly required to relocate due to meaningful consolidation and divestments of current facilities. Musk has been vocal about his opposition to remote work, calling it morally wrong. After acquiring Twitter, he informed employees in an all-hands meeting that if they were physically capable of coming into an office but chose not to, their resignation would be accepted. This policy starkly contrasts with the previous assurances under Twitter's former CEO Jack Dorsey that employees could work remotely permanently. Meanwhile, the U.S. Office of Management and Budget, which now includes Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, issued a memo on Monday halting all federal grants and loan disbursement authority. The memo stated that all federal financial assistance, including funding for foreign aid, non-governmental organizations, diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives, gender-related programs, and the Green New Deal, must be paused pending executive orders. This approach, known as zero-based budgeting, requires starting budgets from scratch and justifying every expense, a strategy frequently used by Musk. On a subreddit for government employees, discussions about the email quickly gained traction. Some users expressed skepticism, warning that employees should not trust the severance promises, citing Twitter employees' experiences. One user advised colleagues to be wary, noting that Musk's history suggests there is no guarantee employees will receive the compensation they were promised. This latest development reflects the continued influence of Musk's business strategies on governance. As federal employees navigate this shifting landscape, concerns grow about the long-term impact on government operations and the American public. Stay tuned with Giz Oasis for more updates.